It's not easy to act weak. Shang Yao and Shang Wushuang were also dumbfounded. This little bastard is too terrifying. How long has it been? It actually grew to this stage. Damn it, damn it. Holy light roared in its heart. Shang Wushuang's eyes almost popped out of their sockets as fear flashed across his eyes. Shang Chuan didn't use his full strength just now. Lu Ming can't be his match. Sacred Light took a deep breath and said coldly. Many people nodded in agreement. Shang Chuan was probably just testing the waters, and Lu Ming had most likely used his full strength. Lu Ming, I only used 50% of my power just now. Now take this. 1,000 Mountains Heaven-suppressing fist. Shang Chuan roared and his bloodline burst out. Without a doubt, it was also a King Level 6 extreme bloodline. At the same time, he punched out with both fists. Boom! Boom! Heaven and earth shook violently as the vast fist shadows turned into tall mountains. There seemed to be thousands of mountain peaks. Suppress! The holy river roared, and the mountain in the sky crashed down on Lu Ming. Heaven rank martial arts technique. It's a pity that I haven't mastered it. How many levels of strength do I need? First level or half level? Lu Ming was in a dilemma. He had a plan in his heart. He was going to cast a long line to catch a big fish. He was afraid that he would show too much power and scare the big fish away. Forget it, I'll just use 10% of my power first. Buzz! Lu Ming held the long spear and fired. Ah, break, break! Lu Ming deliberately shouted loudly. He had only used 10% of his strength, but he had to pretend that he had used 12% of his strength. The veins on his face bulged, and he screamed until he was exhausted. Boom! One of the mountains that came crashing down was destroyed by Lu Ming. However, the second mountain fell. Lu Ming thrust his spear again, and the mountain continued to collapse. Ha ha ha, Lu Ming, let's see how many you can defeat. Shang Chuan laughed and kept punching. The mountains in the sky kept pressing down. Lu Ming held the long spear in his hand. The spear's gleam soared into the sky and turned into a 1,000-meter-long spear, continuously crushing the mountains. Boom! Boom! Rumbles continued between heaven and earth. Fortunately, the Divine Guard's battle platform was wide enough. It was 10 miles long and wide, enough for them to fight. Soon, dozens of moves had passed. Lu Ming had destroyed dozens of mountains in a row and then rushed toward the holy river. Bang! Bang! With every step Lu Ming took on the fighting ring would rumble. In Lu Ming's hands, lightning flashed and a powerful force of lightning burst out. A lower-tier king. Lu Ming, that little bastard, has already reached the lower tier. His combat strength is so strong that he can fight against the holy river. We can't let him live. We can't let this little bastard live. Holy light roared in its heart. He could clearly sense that Lu Ming's cultivation was at the early stage of the Level 4 Martial King realm. He was shocked. 15 tons of thunder. Lu Ming roared loudly in the fighting ring. As the spear pierced out, the sky was filled with lightning. The mountains were blasted apart. This move was not a martial art technique at all. It was Lu Ming's random shouting. He had no choice. If he used a martial technique like the Dragon God's 3 absolutes, he would probably kill Shang Chuan. He could only casually blast out a move and call out a loud name. Damn it, it's not easy to pretend to be weak. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. However, Shang Chuan was so shocked that he gasped. With a loud cry, he covered his body with black stones to block the lightning attack. As the lightning swept past, the rocks crumbled continuously. How did this happen? The holy river is actually losing? Nest, that kid is actually this strong. Is the holy river going to lose? There was another round of intense discussion in the surroundings. Damn it, damn it! Shang Chuan bellowed continuously, using all his strength to fight Lu Ming. However, Shang Chuan was already at a disadvantage and was slowly being suppressed by Lu Ming. The two of them exchanged dozens of blows. Shang Chuan was whipped by Lu Ming's spear. He screamed and flew far away. He fell heavily on the ground and spat out a large mouthful of blood. Buzz! Lu Ming rushed forward and stomped on Shang Chuan's face, pressing him down on the fighting ring. Shang Chuan struggled and roared madly, trying to break free, but Lu Ming was stepping on him firmly and he could not break free at all. He was going crazy. It's over. Shang Chuan knew that he was finished. Lu Ming had stepped on his face in public. From now on, he would never be able to lift his head in the Shang family. His future was also ruined. Lu Ming, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Shang Chuan roared crazily. Pa! Lu Ming gave him a slap in response. A slap landed directly on Shang Chuan's face. Shang Chuan's scream came to an abrupt end, and he was dumbfounded. How dare you, you little bastard! How dare you slap the face of our Shang family's hero? You're looking for death. Move your stinky feet away now. I want you to die without a proper burial. The young men from the Shang family were all shouting. Sacred Glory was so angry that its eyes were burning. What are you shouting for? This is the Divine Guard's battle stage. I should be grateful that I didn't kill him, but what's wrong with stepping on him? Lu Ming swept a glance around and shouted loudly, looking very arrogant. The surrounding young men of the Shang family were so angry that they almost vomited blood. Ah, don't stop me, I'm going to kill him. A young man from the Shang family roared. Lu Ming could not be bothered with them. He looked at Shang Chuan again and said, Now you've lost. Hand over the 20 wind attribute intent crystals. Little bastard, you still want intent crystals? You're dreaming. Shang Chuan roared. You want to go back on your word? Hurry up and hand it over. Lu Ming shouted angrily. I won't hand it over. What can you do to me? And you want intent crystals? Dream on. Shang Chuan laughed. You. Lu Ming pointed at the holy river and gritted his teeth. Ha ha ha. Looking at Lu Ming's expression, Shang Chuan laughed heartily. However, he could not laugh anymore in the next moment. Lu Ming bent down slowly and took off the storage ring on Shang Chuan's finger. What are you trying to do? Give me back my storage ring. Shang Chuan screamed. Return it to you? I'm just using my winnings as a bet. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Give it back to me. 20 intent crystals. I'll give them to you. I'll give them to you. Shang Chuan shouted. This storage ring was all he had. It's too late now. Lu Ming's fingers glowed and he kept Shang Chuan's storage ring. You're cheating. Shang Chuan shouted. I'm cheating? Weren't you the one who cheated first? All right, you can leave now, trash. Lu Ming got up and kicked. Shang Chuan screamed in pain. He flew out like a broken sack and slid 7 to 8 miles away. He fell off the Divine Guard's fighting ring and screamed in pain. Little bastard, how dare you? You're courting death. Hand over your storage ring, kneel down and admit your mistake, and I can spare your life. The young man from the Shang family roared in anger. Doubting life. After all, Shang Chuan was a genius of the Shang family. Now that he had been beaten so badly, they felt that they had lost all their face. A murderous look flashed in Sacred Glory's eyes. It really wanted to rush forward and slap Lu Ming to death. However, this was the Divine Guard's battle platform. As an elder, he didn't dare to make a move. There were some rules that even the Shang family did not dare to violate. His Shang clan was the overlord of the Tianxian region, but in the face of the entire Empyrean Heaven Divine Palace, they were still like ants. A bunch of animals, what are you quarreling about? Lu Ming looked at the youths from the Shang family and berated them loudly. He was as arrogant as he could be. Damn it! The heroes of the Shang family were so angry that their eyes turned red. They were the heroes of the Shang family. Usually they were high and mighty. In the Tianxian region they were the kings. Even if they went to some high-tier empires, the ancestors and emperors of those high-tier empires would have to be respectful in front of them. Since when did anyone dare to scold them? He even dared to call them animals in front of so many people. Their killing intent was almost out of control. I can't take it anymore. Little bastard, I want to challenge you. Do you dare to accept my challenge? A hero of the Shang family roared. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He immediately looked at the young man and said, "You want to challenge me? Do you have any wind attribute intent crystals? If you don't bother me." Lu Ming waved his hand with an impatient expression. "Wind attribute intent crystals? I'll borrow it." The young man gritted his teeth and asked the people around him to lend it to him. Many people had to give face to the heroes of the Shang family. Very quickly, this person managed to borrow 20 wind attribute intent crystals. "Now, I have 20 wind attribute intent crystals. Do you dare to accept my challenge?" the young man shouted. Lu Ming's eyes lit up and the smile on his lips widened. "Oh, fine, I agree to fight you." As soon as these words came out, there was an uproar. Lu Ming actually accepted Shang Fei's challenge? Haha, he's finished. He probably doesn't know Shang Fei's cultivation. Shang Fei has already reached the early stage of Level 6 Martial King realm. Shang Chuan can't even withstand a single blow from Shang Fei. That's right. Lu Ming's combat strength is only slightly higher than Shang Chuan's. He's dead. I'll have to spit out everything I've just taken. Ha ha ha. Hearing Lu Ming's agreement, Shang Fei was overjoyed. In a flash, he went up to the Divine Guard's battle platform. Even within the no-fly zone of Tianxian City, it still appeared to be very light. Shang Fei ascended the Divine Guard's battle platform and quickly appeared in front of Lu Ming. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. "Haha, Lu Ming, you shouldn't have accepted my challenge. It's too late to regret it now." Shang Fei laughed. Just now, Shang Chuan seemed to be so arrogant. In the end, he still cried for his parents. Lu Ming pursed his lips. Below the fighting ring, Shang Chuan, who was recuperating, almost vomited blood. Who was crying for their parents? He was just roaring angrily just now. He was not crying for his parents. Lu Ming was just spouting nonsense. If word of this got out, he would not be able to survive. "Don't compare me to that good-for-nothing Shang Chuan." Shang Fei sneered. "In my eyes, you are all trash." Lu Ming said indifferently. Below the fighting ring, Shang Chuan was trembling. He was shouting in his heart, "If you want to fight, then fight. Don't always drag me into it. I'm already miserable enough." "You're looking for death." Shang Fei bellowed. His killing intent was extremely cold. A terrifying aura burst out from his body. At the same time, a powerful wind concept spread out from him. It was as if a force 12 wind was blowing in the world. The strength of his aura was several times stronger than that of the Holy River. Shang Fei has comprehended the creation of wind. His moves are as fast as lightning and his attacks are like a storm. He's unrivaled. With Lu Ming's combat strength, I don't think he can withstand 10 moves. 10 moves? It'll be good enough if he can withstand 3 moves. I reckon that Lu Ming must be regretting his decision now. He probably didn't expect Shang Fei to be so powerful. In the surroundings, many people were discussing and expressing their own opinions. Buzz! A long, thin sword appeared in Shang Fei's hand. Die! Shang Fei's body moved and he made his move. Whoosh! Whoosh! In an instant, countless sword chi burst out from Shang Fei's hands, covering the entire sky and earth, sweeping toward Lu Ming. It was too fast. Lu Ming is finished. Many people thought. However, in the next moment, Lu Ming's figure moved. His figure flickered continuously, shuttling back and forth between the sword chi that filled the sky, trying his best to avoid them. Although it was very dangerous, Lu Ming managed to avoid them one by one. Many people were dumbfounded. Nest, I know. Lu Ming has also comprehended the concept of wind. That's why he was able to avoid it. It can't be. I saw that his thunder will had already reached level 1 lower tier. Could it be that he has also comprehended the wind will and condensed will runes? That's terrifying. Lu Ming's body exuded the concept of wind as he sensed the changes in the wind around him. Although his wind concept was not as profound as Shang Fei's, it was enough to avoid the sword chi. Humph, then I'll use my strength to defeat you. Dang! Shang Fei shouted coldly, and the sword chi that filled the sky disappeared instantly. Whoosh! The sword chi that filled the sky seemed to have condensed into a ray of crystal-clear green sword chi. It instantly pierced through the void and stabbed toward Lu Ming. He wanted to crush Lu Ming with his powerful cultivation of Lever 6 Martial King Realm. Lu Ming's eyes flashed and he thrust his spear. Clang! The tip of the spear and the tip of the sword collided. Instantly, sword chi and spear radiance burst out in all directions. Shang Fei's body trembled, and his expression changed drastically. He took a dozen steps back. Of course, Lu Ming also took more than 10 steps back symbolically. In the eyes of outsiders, it was a peaceful life. Whoosh! The entire place was in an uproar. Lu Ming had actually blocked Shang Fei's attack in a head-on attack. How was this possible? What was going on? Wasn't Lu Ming only a little stronger than Shang Chuan just now? How could he block Shang Fei's attack now? He's hiding his strength. Lu Ming definitely hid his strength just now. Someone shouted. Everyone came to a sudden realization. Yes, that was the only possibility. Lu Ming had actually hidden his ability just now. What did he want to do? Could it be that he wanted to lure Saint down here to earn intent crystals? Some quick-witted people had already thought of this, and they couldn't help but be stunned. Lu Ming was extremely bold. He actually used this method to earn the esoteric crystals of the Shang family's heroes. This. Among the crowd, Shang Yao and Shang Wuxia were the most shocked. This was because a few months ago, when they were in the Eastern Palace, Lu Ming was far from being this powerful. It had only been a short while and he had already reached this level. He was simply a monster. Especially Shang Wuxia, who was almost scared to death. When Lu Ming had first joined the Detian Divine Guards, he had not even been a half-step king. At that time, he could have completely crushed Lu Ming with his strength. But now, he was not even fit to carry Lu Ming's shoes. Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Shang Wuxia started to doubt his life. One person challenging an entire clan. This is your strength? It's not much? Lu Ming looked at Shang Fei and smiled faintly. Die! Shang Fei bellowed, suppressing the shock in his heart as he charged at Lu Ming. Lu Ming held his spear and charged forward, fighting with Shang Fei. The two of them seemed to be in a stalemate, and their battle was extremely intense. Then, just like the battle with Shang Chuan earlier, Lu Ming slowly gained the upper hand after a few dozen moves. Then, after a few dozen moves, Lu Ming defeated Shang Fei with great difficulty, causing him to vomit blood. Everyone was dumbfounded. Lu Ming actually won again. You've lost. Hand over the intent crystals. Lu Ming looked at Shang Fei indifferently. Shang Fei roared in his heart. He really didn't want to hand it over, but when he thought of Shang Chuan's fate, he shuddered. He could only grit his teeth and hand over 20 intent crystals. Lu Ming kept it happily, not forgetting to mumble. What heroes of the Shang family? They're all trash. Of course, he didn't lower his voice and it spread far and wide. Immediately, the people of the Shang family were in an uproar. This bastard is too arrogant. Die! I want him to die! Damn it, who's going to kill him? Some young heroes of the Shang family roared in anger. Even some of the older generation were so angry that their eyes turned red. However, no one came out to challenge Lu Ming. Lu Ming's combat strength was too strange. When he was fighting Shang Chuan, he seemed to be only a little stronger than Shang Chuan. However, after the battle with Shang Fei, his combat strength increased rapidly and he was a little stronger than Shang Fei. None of them could tell if Lu Ming was still hiding his abilities. Now, Lu Ming was simply unfathomable in their hearts. It turns out that the so-called heroes of the Shang family are just cowardly rats. Lu Ming sneered. Little bastard, what did you say? Say that again. The Shang family's heroes were furious. Isn't it? If you don't want to challenge me, then fine, I'll challenge you now. Lu Ming pointed his spear in the direction of the young men from the Shang family. His fighting spirit soared as he shouted, Now I'll challenge you all. All of you, come at me together. Come at me together. The short 6 words were like a storm that swept through the entire scene. The crowd around the Divine Guard's battle stage was in an uproar. Lu Ming had actually taken the initiative to challenge them. He had even challenged all of the Shang family's heroes at once. Crazy, he was crazy. There were at least 100 young geniuses from the Shang family present. There were also over 20 king tiers above the lower tier. Lu Ming wanted to challenge all the Shang family's young men by himself. This was an insult, a blatant insult. He was looking down on the many heroes of the Shang family. Damn it, this brat should die. Arrogant and ignorant. I'm going to kill him. The heroes of the Shang family roared in anger. What's wrong? You only know how to scream? Don't you dare to go on stage? Lu Ming continued to point his long spear at the young men and provoked them. There was a hint of madness in his eyes. The reason why Lu Ming had repeatedly provoked the Shang family today was to establish his might. That's right, show your might. Ever since he came to Tianxian City, he had been repeatedly provoked by the Shang family. Wherever he went, the Shang family would provoke him. Lu Ming was already annoyed. Since that was the case, he might as well go all out. He had displayed his power and intimidated the Shang family. In this way, the Shang family would surely calm down for a period of time. Lu Ming took advantage of this period of time to improve his cultivation. This was Lu Ming's purpose. They were already mortal enemies anyway, so he wasn't afraid of offending them. Since you're looking for death, we'll fulfill your wish. Brothers, let's go and teach him a good lesson. One of the Shang family's heroes bellowed and rushed towards the Divine Guard's fighting stage at top speed. In a few breaths, he had covered a distance of 10 miles and appeared in front of Lu Ming. He didn't even try to hide his aura. Late Level 6 Martial King Realm. He was much stronger than Shang Fei. Go, go! Buzz, buzz! The sound of the air being torn could be heard from all directions. The young men of the Shang family rushed up to the fighting ring and surrounded Lu Ming. 19 people. A total of 19 people. All of them were at least Level 4 Martial King Realm, and all of them were kings of the lower tier. As for those below the level of a lower tier king, there was no need for them to come up as they did not pose much of a threat to Lu Ming. And the two of us. With 2 long howls, 2 more young men from the crowd rushed up to the fighting ring. One of them was wearing a red robe, while the other was wearing a green robe. The 2 of them were extremely fast. In an instant, they had rushed up to the fighting ring, and the aura they emitted was extremely terrifying. The peak of Level 6 Martial King Realm. It's Shang Chong and Shang Lang. Someone exclaimed. I heard that the 2 of them started their closed-door cultivation a few months ago, trying to break through to the late-stage king level. I didn't expect them to come out now. Looks like he hasn't succeeded. He's still at the initial king tier, but he's only 1 step away from the late-stage king tier. Discussions could be heard all around. On the fighting ring, the other heroes of the Shang family were also overjoyed to see the 2. I didn't expect that someone would look down on the Shang family and provoke us after I've only been in seclusion for a few months. He deserves to die 10,000 times. The blue-robed young man, Shang Chong, said coldly as his eyes opened and closed like huge waves. That's good. Today is a good day to show off our might. Don't let others think that our Shang family has no one else. The holy wolf's eyes flashed with a fierce light, like a wild beast. A total of 21 people surrounded Lu Ming. Their combined aura was extremely terrifying. Are you all here yet? If you're all here, then let's start the battle. I'm too lazy to bet with you all on some intent crystals. Lu Ming said calmly. He looked calm as if he did not feel any pressure despite being surrounded by so many people. You're pretending to be relaxed. I'd like to see what kind of strength you have. Make your move. Shang Chong shouted coldly. Boom! Boom! Instantly, the fighting ring went berserk. 21 auras soared into the sky and the 21 attacks converged, crushing toward Lu Ming. Yes, crushed. Lu Ming could not avoid it and could only take it head-on. He's dead. Lu Ming is dead for sure. Under this move, anyone below the level of a king tier can only die. Who can you blame for your own death? Do you really think that you can be so arrogant after defeating Shang Fei and Shang Chuan? Even if he has the combat strength of a peak Level 6 Martial King, he's still going to die. Boom! At this moment, Lu Ming exploded. The second bloodline merged with his body, and his true yuan circulated to the extreme. At the same time, the fusion of the three intents erupted. An unimaginable spear light shot up into the sky. The spear radiance seemed to be able to pierce through the heavens and earth. Boom! The joint attack of 21 Shang family heroes was shattered by this spear light. Buzz! Lan Yu! Lu Ming shouted, his long hair flying in the wind. The long spear in his hand grew to 1,000 meters long and swept out. A full moon appeared on the fighting ring. The moon was a move of the fire gun execution. However, with Lu Ming's current cultivation level, it displayed a terrifying power. Everyone was shocked. Bang! Bang! The heroes of the Shang family were all sent flying backward like sandbags. With Lu Ming at the center, the heroes of the Shang family were thrown backward and then glided along the fighting ring at a high speed. They glided for several miles before they stopped, blood spurting from their mouths. All of them were Level 4 Martial King Realm martial artists, and they could not even withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. The Level 5 Martial King Realm martial artists were also sent flying. They slid backward, but they did not fall to the ground. They could still stand firmly, but blood was flowing out of their mouths. Only the Level 6 Martial King Realm martial artist was able to block the attack, but he was also forced to take dozens of steps back. Even Shang Chong and Shang Lang were forced to take 7 or 8 steps back. The encirclement of the Shang family's heroes was shattered by Lu Ming's attack. Boom! Boom! Below the stage, countless people saw this scene and completely lost control of their emotions. Their auras exploded out, and their eyes widened as they roared. 3 types of concepts of heaven and earth. Lu Ming has comprehended 3 types of concepts of heaven and earth. 3 kinds of heaven and earth will, all condensed into will runes, and 2 of them have been cultivated to the initial level 1 realm. How did he do it? Impossible. Cultivating so many intents will create resistance between each other. How did he do it? How did it happen? He's too strong. The people from the Shang family were no match for him at all. They were defeated in one move. He didn't even use his full strength just now. Otherwise, he would have killed Shang Chuan and Shang Fei in one move. So, he wasn't being arrogant. He had the ability to do so. I understand now, those soul-sealing jade plates, how did he get them? By plotting against others? This was completely obtained by him killing the corpse guards. He completely has this strength. Many people around them were shouting. They couldn't control their excitement. They didn't even care if their words would offend the Shang family. It was too shocking. Why is it like this? Sacred Glory's old eyes almost popped out of their sockets. The aura from his body spread uncontrollably, and many people around him retreated in shock. However, he did not feel anything at all. His eyes were fixed on Lu Ming, full of disbelief. 3 kinds of heaven and earth intent realms, all? He had cultivated intent runes and 2 types of level 1 lower tier. Why? Shang Wushuang seemed to have lost his soul. He stared at Lu Ming and kept muttering. He found it hard to accept all this. In the past, he had mocked Lu Ming for cultivating multiple concepts at the same time and that he would never achieve anything. However, he had not condensed an intent rune when he cultivated 1 intent. Lu Ming, on the other hand, cultivated 3 intents and had condensed intent runes. 2 of them had even reached level 1 lower tier. Compared to Lu Ming, he was simply trash. No, he could not even be compared to trash. He was like dung. In this instant, his heart of martial arts collapsed. The aura on his body fluctuated, and his eyes were listless. During this period of time, Lu Ming had dealt him a series of blows. Now, just a moment ago, this blow had finally reached its peak and shattered his heart of martial arts. Once the heart of martial arts was broken, it would be difficult for him to advance further in martial arts. In other words, Shang Wushuang would never be able to break through to the Martial King realm. It was ridiculous. Back then, he said that Lu Ming would never be able to break through to the Martial King realm. Now, he was the one who had to accept the truth. You're really trash. On the side, Shang Yao noticed Shang Wushuang's condition and shouted coldly. In the fighting ring, Shang Chong, Shang Lang, and the others were also shocked. 1 move. Lu Ming had only used 1 move, but the power contained in that move was too terrifying. It far exceeded the peak of the 6th-level Martial King realm. You want to cripple me with just this bit of strength? Lu Ming held the long spear in his hand, his long hair flying in the wind, his aura wild. Lu Ming, you're quite capable indeed. How about this? Let's call this a draw. Shang Chong looked at Lu Ming and shouted with a hint of fear in his eyes. The Shang family was completely doomed in this battle. However, if it ended in a draw, it would be better for the Shang family's reputation. In the surroundings, some people revealed looks of disdain. It was obvious that Shang Chong was afraid. A draw? Haha. Do you think you have the right to fight me to a draw? Lu Ming laughed and walked towards Shang Chong, Shang Lang, and the rest with his spear in hand. Lu Ming, don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Shang Chong roared and retreated. Nonsense, either admit defeat or fight. Lu Ming berated. Lu Ming, that's enough. Dang. Holy Light shouted coldly, his eyes cold. Old man, is it your turn to interject on the Divine Guard battle platform? Lu Ming did not even turn his head and scolded him directly. You! Shang Yao was a peak king and an elder of the Emperor Sky Divine Palace. When had he ever been scolded by a junior like this? He was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Lu Ming did not stop and walked toward Shang Chong and the rest. Damn it, let's attack together. Shang Chong bellowed. He knew that he could not avoid this battle. There was only one battle. If they didn't even dare to fight and admitted defeat, they would definitely not become a laughingstock. They would also be punished by the Shang family. Kill! Kill! Shang Chong, Shang Lang, and the others roared and unleashed their full power. A green divine bird flew above Shang Chong's head. The will of wind spread out, and a gale swept out. On top of the sacred wolf's head was a giant wolf. On the giant wolf's body, raging flames soared into the sky, and the concept of fire covered the sky. There were also a few other Level 6 and Level 5 Martial King realm experts. In total there were 10 of them. Kill! 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 The 10 attacks were aimed at Lu Ming from different angles. 10,000 dragon kill! Lu Ming thrust his spear forward and dozens of 3-colored true dragons flew out, pouncing on the 10 Shang family heroes. As for Lu Ming, he took a step forward and rushed towards Shang Chong and Shang Lang. Buzz! The huge spear radiance, thicker than a water tank, was blasted toward the two of them. The two of them were shocked and tried to block it with their ultimate moves, but it was useless. They were hit by the huge spear radiance and were sent flying backward with blood spurting out of their mouths. He flew out several miles before he finally stabilized his body. Below the fighting ring, countless people looked at Lu Ming's figure on the fighting ring in shock. At that moment, Lu Ming was like an invincible god of war. He was undefeatable. A peerless genius. There was only one thought in everyone's mind. Perhaps, in another 3 to 5 years, Lu Ming will be on the list of top 1,000 talents. I think so too. As long as Lu Ming maintains this momentum, he'll be on the list of top 1,000 talents in 3 years or 5 years at most. In that case, we'll have 2 geniuses on the list of top 1,000 talents in the Tianxian region. Below the stage, some people were discussing in low voices. All of you, just admit defeat. Lu Ming stared at Shang Chong and Shang Lang. You want us to admit defeat? Impossible. Lu Ming, unless you throw us out of the Divine Guard's fighting ring, don't even think about us admitting defeat. The Sacred Wolf shouted. At least you have some backbone. I'll fulfill your wish then. Lu Ming strode forward. The Sacred Star. The crowd stared at the fighting ring. They felt that the battle was about to end. At this moment, a cold voice came from the distance. Lu Ming, you dare? As soon as he finished speaking, a beam of divine light shot over from the distance. The speed of the divine light was too fast. It crossed the void in an instant and shot towards the space between Lu Ming's eyebrows. Lu Ming's expression changed drastically. He could sense that this beam of divine light contained a terrifying power and killing intent. His body instantly tensed up, and all the hair on his body stood on end. This was an instinctive reaction. He felt a fatal threat from this divine light. Without any hesitation, he retreated. At the same time, his 9-dragon bloodline burst out, and the devouring power filled the surroundings. The vital essence in his body circulated to the extreme, and the 3 heaven and earth will realms merged together and surged toward the spear. True Dragon Strike. He thrust his spear forward, and a huge 3-colored true dragon flew out and collided with the divine light. Boom! A heaven-shaking boom rang out as the divine light pierced through the 3-colored true dragon. The 3 intents of heaven and earth that it contained also collapsed. Whoosh! The divine light did not stop and continued to stab Lu Ming. Gakudo Path Attack. At the critical moment, Lu Ming stopped his retreat. He became one with the spear and turned into a spear ray, piercing forward. Boom! The tip of the spear accurately pierced the divine light. In an instant, Lu Ming felt a terrifying force surging towards him along the long spear. Lu Ming felt as if he had been hit by a huge hammer. His body slid back along the fighting ring in a frenzy. It kept sliding for several miles before it stopped. He only felt the blood in his entire body surging, and the arm holding the spear trembled slightly. Gotcha! At this moment, the tip of the demon-subduing spear made a cracking sound and cracks appeared on it. Then the cracks grew more and more. Finally, with a bang, the tip of the demon-subduing spear exploded into pieces and scattered on the ground. The demon-subduing spear finally could not withstand Lu Ming's powerful strength and the bombardment of the divine light. It exploded. However, Lu Ming had successfully blocked the divine light. Who is it? Lu Ming looked in the direction of the divine light. Not only him, at this moment, everyone also looked in that direction. A slender figure wearing a 7-star robe with his hands behind his back was approaching step by step. Everyone's hearts trembled. Tianxian City had a no-fly zone, so ordinary kings couldn't walk in the air. Only peak-tier kings could barely walk in the air. This person was very young, about 24 or 25 years old. His eyebrows were like swords, his eyes were like stars, and he was extremely handsome. The light of the stars surrounded his body, making him look like a god who had descended to the world. The sacred constellation, it's the sacred constellation! Someone roared. It's over. Lu Ming is finished. I didn't expect that the sacred constellation would be attracted here. This time, Lu Ming is really finished. Heavens, the sacred constellation's cultivation seems to have improved. He can actually walk in the air. Could he have already broken through to the peak king tier? Many people were shocked. A peak tier king at such a young age was simply too shocking. That's not right. The sacred constellation has not broken through to peak king tier. It should still be at the peak of the 9th level martial king realm, still at the level of a king tier of the upper tier. However, his strength is too strong, no weaker than a peak king tier. That's why he can walk in the air. A white-haired old man explained. At the scene, there were other elders besides the elders from Shangyao. Lu Ming's eyes were bright as he stared at the sacred constellation. Ever since he came to Tianxian City, Lu Ming had heard this name many times. Saint Xingchen, the #1 genius of the Tianxian region and a top talent on the list of top 1,000 talents in the Eastern Barren Territory, was the idol of many young geniuses in the Tianxian region. The other so-called geniuses of the Tianxian region were like candlelight and the bright moon in front of the holy star. They couldn't be compared. The holy star stepped on the air and came to the sky above the divine guard fighting ring. It looked down at Lu Ming, and in its eyes, there seemed to be stars shining. Young Master Xingchen. When Shang Chong, Shang Lang, and the rest saw Lu Ming, they hurriedly saluted him. Their faces were filled with apprehension, as if they were very afraid of the holy star. The sacred constellation was the successor of the Shang family. In the future, he would definitely be in charge of the Shang family. It could be said that their fates were all under the control of the sacred constellation. They were naturally afraid of the holy star. Holy constellation only glanced at them indifferently, expressionless, and said indifferently, "All of you, retreat and recuperate." Yes, yes. Shang Chong and the rest helped each other down the fighting ring as if they had been granted amnesty. After that, the holy star's gaze turned to Lu Ming again. "You're Lu Ming. You've got guts to hurt so many people from the Shang family." Saint Xingchen said indifferently. No emotions could be heard in his voice. "It's just a fair fight on the Divine Guard battle platform." Lu Ming said. Hee hee. Shang Xingchen chuckled and said, "You're not bad. I just happen to need a stableman to lead the horses. You can report to work as a stableman for 3 years first. If you perform well, you'll naturally be promoted." Saint Starlight stood in the air with his hands behind his back. His voice wasn't loud, but it was filled with a commanding tone, as if this matter had already been decided. Many people in the surroundings were shocked. They had never expected that the sacred constellation would let Lu Ming off so easily. He even asked Lu Ming to be his groom. In the eyes of many people, being able to become a coachman for the holy constellation was a matter of supreme glory. He was a trusted aide of the holy constellation, and his status would rise with the tide. A casual word from him would cause many emperors of large countries to be in fear and revere. Moreover, he might even receive guidance from the Holy Star. What an honor this was! In the eyes of many, this was not a punishment, but a reward. It seems that Lu Ming's talent has been valued by the Holy Star. Someone sighed. Detestable. Shang Wushuang gritted his teeth. He was extremely jealous of Lu Ming. If this opportunity were to fall into his hands, he would wake up smiling even in his dreams. Now, this opportunity fell on Lu Ming. Do you think Lu Ming will agree? Someone asked in low voice. Nonsense, of course he'd agree. Who's the Holy Star? Lu Ming is a genius on the list of top 1,000 talents. Although he's very talented, I estimate that there's still a huge gap between him and the Holy Star. It's not bad that he can become a groom for the Holy Star. That's right. If he didn't agree, the Holy Constellation definitely wouldn't let him off. In such a situation, he would definitely agree. That's right, being a stableman for the Holy Constellation isn't something to be ashamed of. Many people in the surroundings were making guesses out of curiosity. However, no one noticed that the corners of Lu Ming's mouth curled into a disdainful smile. Meeting Mulan again. Sacred constellation, right? There was a faint smile on Lu Ming's face as he stared at the sacred constellation. At this moment, the entire place quieted down. Everyone looked at Lu Ming to see how he would answer. Holy Star, I think you're not bad either. My family's courtyard is lacking a gatekeeper. Pack up and quickly go report. A clear voice came out of Lu Ming's mouth, but it was like a storm that swept the entire scene. Everyone was stunned. After a long while, there was a loud noise. Lu Ming, he rejected it. Not only did he refuse, he even asked the sacred constellation to guard the door for him. Heavens, how dare he! This is just adding fuel to the fire. Not only did he refuse, but he also asked the holy constellation to guard his door. Does he have the qualifications? All around, there was a wave of excited discussion. How dare you, Lu Ming? How dare you speak to the young master of the Shang family like that? The young master of Xingchen is looking up to you by letting you be his coachman. Many people seek knowledge but can't get it. You actually dare to speak like this. You're simply arrogant, ignorant, and stubborn. On the side, Sacred Glory scolded loudly. As for Shang Wushuang, he was about to die from laughter. He was overjoyed. He was really afraid that Lu Ming would agree to it. You rejected it? Saint Constellation's face was still calm, and no expression could be seen as he asked indifferently. Nonsense. It's their business if the others are willing to be your dogs. But why would I, Lu Ming, do that? In this world, no one can make me a horse groom, including you, Holy Star. Lu Ming said loudly. As soon as this remark came out, it caused a wave of curses for a short time. Nest, how ignorant and arrogant. Who does he think he is? You're a little talented, but you really think you're number one in the world. How ridiculous. He's comparing himself to the sacred constellation. Who does he think he is? What right does he have to be mentioned in the same breath as the young master of Xingchen? At this moment, Holy Star's expression finally turned cold. With a wave of his hand, as if there was a huge magical power, the entire scene immediately quieted down. I gave you a chance, but you didn't know how to cherish it. Since that's the case, I'll cripple you. A cold voice came out of Shang Xingchen's mouth. Boom! In the next moment, the starlight on the holy constellation burned like a flame, illuminating the entire sky. This is Star Intent Realm. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. In the world, other than the 9 common concepts of heaven and earth such as wind, fire and thunder, there were also many special concepts. However, these special concepts were usually extremely difficult to comprehend, but their power was usually extremely powerful. The Star Intent Realm was such a special intent realm. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the next moment, the light of the stars condensed into dozens of long swords. They pierced through the air and aimed at Lu Ming's vital parts. Wherever the stars passed, terrifying sonic booms were created. You can't take it head-on. Lu Ming's pupils suddenly constricted. The sacred constellation was too powerful, and it was not something he could resist at all. Retreat! Without hesitation, Lu Ming turned around and used the 9 dragons' heaven-trampling steps. He took a step forward and retreated at an extreme speed. His speed was terrifying. You still want to leave in front of me? Shang Xingchen shouted. The starlight on his body became even more dazzling. At the same time, above Lu Ming's head, streams of starlight fell from the sky, condensing into a huge hand that pressed down on Lu Ming. This huge hand seemed to have appeared out of thin air above Lu Ming's head. He could not avoid it. Block it! Lu Ming growled. It's just a meaningless struggle. Holy Star's eyes were indifferent. He stood in the void with his hands behind his back, looking down at Lu Ming from above, like an emperor who ruled over everything. Holy Star, what the hell are you pretending for? Do you really think you're a heaven's favorite who can look down on everything? You're only ranked 998th on the list of top 1,000 talents, and there are a lot of people who are stronger than you. What are you so arrogant for? Also, how old are you? You're 5 years older than me. What's there to be proud of? If I cultivate for another 5 years, I can defeat you with one finger. Lu Ming roared. He stood up straight and stared at the sacred constellation with bright eyes. His words made many people's eyes light up. Indeed, how old was Lu Ming now? At the age of the sacred constellation, it would be too exaggerated to say that a finger could suppress the sacred constellation, but it might not necessarily be unable to reach the height of the sacred constellation. Previously, everyone had witnessed Lu Ming's combat strength and talent. Some people felt that Lu Ming had the potential to be on the list of top 1,000 talents. You're quite self-confident. On the path of martial arts, one step is stronger than the other. You will never be my opponent. Hee, I'm not interested. So, I'll just cripple you first. A cold voice came out of Shang Xingchen's mouth. Starlight surged around him, and he was about to launch the next wave of attack. It seems that I can only use the Thunder Cauldron. With my current cultivation, I can definitely kill the sacred constellation with a single strike if I use the Thunder Cauldron. However, I've also lost the power to resist. But now I have no choice. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with ruthlessness. He immediately focused his mind and communicated with the Lightning Cauldron. Between Lu Ming's brows, a faint light flickered with wisps of lightning energy. He could control the Lightning Cauldron at any time to deliver a fatal blow. Stop! At this moment, a soft shout was heard. Gah! Immediately after, a bird's cry was heard. Everyone saw a large green eagle flying over at high speed. 2 figures were standing on the eagle. Mu Shuyuan and senior sister Mu Lan. Lu Ming's gaze flickered. The 2 people on the eagle's back were Mu Lan and Mu Shuyuan. That's Miss Mu Lan. What is Miss Mu Lan doing here? Many people were curious. Sacred Constellation's eyes flickered slightly, and the starlight on his body also calmed down, not continuing to attack. Gah! The condor screeched, and in the next moment, it appeared in the sky above the Divine Guard fighting ring. Mu Lan and Mu Shuyuan jumped down from the eagle's back and appeared on the Divine Guard fighting ring. Lu Ming, are you all right? Mu Lan immediately walked toward Lu Ming with a look of concern in her eyes. It's just a small injury. I'm fine. Senior sister Mu Lan, it's been a long time since we last met. Lu Ming smiled faintly. It had been more than a year since he last saw Mu Lan. She had become more mature and charming. The curves on her body were even more shocking. One look at her and one would be unable to suppress the urge in their heart. Countless eyes were fixed on Mu Lan from all around. It's been a long time indeed. Lu Ming, I didn't expect you to come this far. You didn't disappoint me. Mulan revealed a faint smile. Lan, get out of the way. This brat has injured many of our Shang family's heroes. He's too arrogant. Let me cripple this brat first. Holy Constellation coldly spoke. Lu Ming, we're engaged after all. Perhaps this is fate. I've always wanted to escape but I can't. A long sigh sounded softly. Giggle. Lu Ming clenched his fists so tightly that cracking sounds could be heard. He knew that Mulan was doing this all because of him. Otherwise, with Mulan's personality, she would never agree to it. Lu Ming, with Lan pleading for you today, I'll spare your life, Shang Xingchen said coldly. After that, he revealed a look of contempt and continued, Lu Ming, do you think you're worthy of being mentioned in the same breath as me? You can only hide behind women. With that, he smiled contemptuously and turned to leave. At this moment, Lu Ming's voice was heard. Holy Star, since that's the case, do you dare to accept my challenge? Whoosh. Lu Ming's voice was like a storm, sweeping through the entire scene again. Many people were dumbfounded. What? What did I just hear? Lu Ming actually wants to challenge the sacred constellation? He's so bold. He's looking for death. Arrogant and conceited. This is what you call arrogant and conceited. The entire place burst into an earth-shattering uproar. It had been a few years since anyone from the younger generation in the Tianxian region had dared to challenge the sacred constellation. You want to challenge me? Holy Constellation turned around and asked. Even he was a little surprised. That's right. Half a year from now, you and I will fight. Do you dare? Lu Ming said loudly. Half a year later. The corners of Sacred Constellation's mouth curled into a cold smile. He glanced at Mulan and said, Do you really think that you can catch up to me in half a year? Fight me? You don't need to worry about this. Lu Ming said. Lu Ming, you can't. You don't have to. Mulan said anxiously. He knew that the reason why Lu Ming chose to challenge the sacred constellation in half a year's time was definitely related to her. However, given Lu Ming's cultivation base, he would not be a match for the sacred constellation in half a year. If Lu Ming could fight above his level, so could the sacred constellation. If Lu Ming could improve, the sacred constellation would also improve continuously. It was almost impossible to catch up to Holy Constellation in just half a year. It was not that she did not have confidence in Lu Ming. She was very confident in him. She believed that in a few years, Lu Ming would definitely be able to catch up to the sacred constellation. However, half a year was too short. Lu Ming waved his hand and interrupted Mulan. Senior sister Mulan, this battle is inevitable. Even if it's not for you, I'm going to pay you back for the humiliation I've suffered today. Lu Ming's voice was firm and unquestionable. Sacred constellation. Just one word. Do you dare? Lu Ming's eyes were bright as he stared at the holy star. All right, I promise you. Half a year later, I will let you know what despair is. You will never be able to catch up to my footsteps. Sacred Constellation's confident voice reverberated throughout the entire area. The scene was boiling with excitement. The Holy Constellation had actually accepted Lu Ming's challenge. The two of them would fight half a year later. Moreover, this battle was very interesting. If the Sacred Constellation was defeated, the wedding date between him and Mulan would definitely be affected, or even cancelled. If Lu Ming was defeated, the Holy Star would carry the momentum of victory and marry Mulan. From now on, the Tianxian region would truly be the world of the Sacred Constellation. The fourth region. Do you think there's any hope for Lu Ming in 6 months? How is that possible? In half a year's time, the Holy Star would have entered the Peak King's realm. How could Lu Ming have any hope? There's no hope at all. I think so too, but I'm still looking forward to it. Me too. We can't miss this opportunity in half a year. The crowd was in a heated discussion. At this moment, Sacred Constellation did not say anything more. It turned around and stepped into the air, disappearing into the horizon in the blink of an eye. This Lu Ming has escaped again. Shang Wushuang said through gritted teeth. Humph, so what if you escape this time? He'll still die in half a year, so I'll just let him live for another half a year. Sacred Light snorted. But Shang Wushuang was still worried. Lu Ming was simply too freakish. During this period of time, Lu Ming's cultivation would increase explosively every once in a while. Shang Wushuang was already a little afraid. He was afraid that the next time they met, he would not know what level Lu Ming had reached. Even if Lu Ming has some talent, do you really think that he can catch up to the young master of Xingchen in just half a year? That's impossible. Shang Yao said. Not bad, not bad. Shang Wushuang kept consoling himself, but he was still very nervous. Then the crowd slowly dispersed. However, the news of Lu Ming challenging the Holy Star in half a year's time, as well as the news of Shang Wushuang and Mu Lan's marriage, spread like a hurricane. It caused an earthquake-like sensation. On the Divine Guard battle platform. Lu Ming, you shouldn't have challenged the sacred constellation. Mu Lan cast a reproachful glance at Lu Ming. However, she did not know why, but she was happy. She knew that Lu Ming had challenged Shang Wushuang mostly because of her. Senior sister Mu Lan, why do you have so little confidence in me? Don't worry, I'll beat Shang Wushuang up so badly that he can't marry you in half a year. Lu Ming said with a smile. You're still so confident. Mu Lan rolled her eyes at Lu Ming, a smile tugging at the corners of her lips. Hi, senior sister Mu Lan, by the way, why don't you want to marry the sacred constellation? This guy, although he has an arrogant expression that makes me unhappy, but to be honest, he's quite capable, and he's not bad looking either. Wait, don't tell me you're not marrying him because you like me? Lu Ming stared at Mu Lan with a smile. Look, take a fancy to you? Stop dreaming. Mu Lan pouted and her face turned red. He then sighed. No one wanted their fate to be decided since they were young. Moreover, it's hard to say when it comes to matters of the heart. Although the sacred constellation is a genius, it just doesn't have any feelings for him. Oh! Lu Ming seemed to be smiling. Cough, cough. At this moment, Mu Shuan, who was at the side, coughed a few times and said, Shouldn't we leave this place first? Yes, yes, let's go. Mu Lan's face reddened as she hastily said. Lu Ming's gaze and smile made her a little overwhelmed. Then, Mu Lan beckoned for the eagle in the sky to leave. She, Lu Ming, and Mu Shuyuan walked down the fighting ring and headed to a street. Lu Ming, where are you staying now? Mu Lan asked. You're blocking houses in the city. Lu Ming said. Oh, how about this? You can move to the 4th district. You can cultivate faster in the 4th district. I'll arrange a courtyard for you. Mu Lan said. Mu Lan's father was the palace master of the Profound Sky Sub-Palace, so he had the authority to arrange a courtyard in the 4th area. Then, the three of them walked toward the 4th area. The 4th region was separated by city walls, and experts were guarding the city gates. Ordinary people were not allowed to enter, or they would be killed without mercy. It was hard for one's cultivation not to improve after living here for a long time. It was no wonder that there were so many experts and martial king realm experts in the younger generation of the Shang family. In such an environment, even a pig would be able to cultivate to a decent realm. Mu Lan and Mu Shuyuan led Lu Ming deeper into the 4th area. Soon, they arrived in front of a courtyard. Miss Mu Lan. An old man bowed to Mu Lan at the entrance of the courtyard. Yes, Elder Chen, Lu Ming will be staying in this courtyard in the future. Mu Lan pointed at Lu Ming. Elder Chen glanced at Lu Ming. A hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. He then nodded and said, Yes. Lu Ming, let's go in and take a look at the environment. Mu Lan smiled. All right. Lu Ming nodded. The three of them walked into the courtyard. In terms of size, this courtyard wasn't as big as the East Heaven courtyard in the east. This was normal. This was the 4th region of Tianxian City. Its value was terrifyingly high. Naturally, it wouldn't be that big. However, the decorations were very elegant and very suitable for cultivation, comprehension of intent and martial arts techniques. Lu Ming was very satisfied. The three of them walked around and returned to the courtyard. Lu Ming, this token is for you. With this token, you can freely enter and exit the fourth area. Mulan took out a purple token and handed it to Lu Ming. Lu Ming took it and kept it. Senior Sister Mulan, I wonder if there are any inscription masters in Tianxian City. I would like to ask them to help me forge a spear. Lu Ming asked. The demon-subduing spear's tip had already shattered. As for the ordinary lower-level 5 spears, Lu Ming still had 2 of them which he had gotten from others. However, they were of lower level 5 and were not of much use. Of course, there are inscription masters in Tianxian City, and there's more than one. What grade of spiritual weapon do you want to make? Mulan asked. It'd better be a level 6 one. Lu Ming said. Level 6. Mulan and Mu Shuyuan were both shocked. A 6th-level spirit weapon was a spirit weapon used by Sea of Soul Realm experts. Its power was extremely terrifying, but the materials it required were also frighteningly expensive. Lu Ming actually wanted to refine a level 6 spear. Lu Ming nodded. His cultivation was progressing very quickly, and his true essence was too abundant, 10 times that of an ordinary person. The martial skills he cultivated were also extremely overbearing, and the requirements for spirit weapons were extremely high. Normal spirit weapons wouldn't be able to withstand his explosive power. The material of the demon-subduing spear was already very good, but it still couldn't withstand it. Only a 6th-level spiritual weapon would be enough for Lu Ming to use for a while. Lu Ming, the price of refining a 6th-level spiritual weapon is terrifyingly high. I don't have that many spiritual crystals on me. Mulan said. Level 6 Master of Inscription. Senior Sister Mulan, don't worry about this. I'll take care of it. Lu Ming said with a smile. He had nearly 9 million pieces of supreme spiritual crystals on him, which was enough to make a 6th-level spiritual weapon. Mu Shuyuan and Mulan were both very surprised. Lu Ming could even afford a 6th-level spiritual weapon? It seemed that they had underestimated Lu Ming. That's good. There's a rank 6 inscriber in Tianxian City. He's my father's good friend, but he's not free these 2 days. How about this? I'll come find you 3 days later and take you to see that inscriber master. Mulan said. All right, sure. Lu Ming was overjoyed. He did not expect that there would really be a level 6 inscription master in Tianxian City. A level 6 forging grandmaster was extremely rare, and their status was even higher than that of normal Sea of Soul Realm experts. In the entire Tianxian region, Sea of Soul Realm experts were extremely rare and limited. Every single one of them was a figure who could rule the Tianxian region. The 3 realms of the spiritual god were the spiritual ocean realm, the spiritual embryo realm, and the spiritual god realm. Each realm was extremely profound. At the same time, the power one could control was also extremely terrifying. It had the power to destroy heaven and earth. It was not something that the martial king realm could compare with. Above the spiritual god realm was the martial emperor realm. The peak of the spiritual god realm was also known as the Supreme. The 9 Suns Supreme was at the peak of the spiritual god realm, only 1 step away from the martial royal realm. Of course, Lu Ming was still miles away from that level. Now was not the time to think about that. Lu Ming then chatted with Mulan and Mu Shuyuan for a while. Lu Ming, you should recuperate first. Mulan instructed with some concern, then left the place with Mu Shuyuan. After Mulan and Mu Shuyuan left, Lu Ming sat cross-legged and started to recuperate. Previously, Lu Ming had received 2 attacks from the Holy Star and was severely injured. He knew very well that he did not use much strength in the 2 moves of the Holy Star. Otherwise, Lu Ming would not have been able to withstand it. 3 hours later, Lu Ming's injuries were much better. He believed that he would be fully recovered in less than a day. Half a year. I'll need more resources if I want to catch up to the sacred constellation in half a year. The most important thing is the essence realm of heaven and earth. As long as I can improve the essence realm of heaven and earth, I can keep improving my cultivation as long as I have supreme spiritual crystals. Lu Ming pondered in his heart. Now that Lu Ming had the path understanding ancient tree, he could comprehend the essence realm of heaven and earth very quickly. However, he was not satisfied. At this rate, he would not be able to catch up to the Holy Star in half a year. Intent crystals.
If I have a large number of intent crystals in the path understanding ancient tree, my comprehension of the intent realm of heaven and earth will be much faster.
Only then will I be able to catch up to the sacred planet. Lu Ming was deep in thought. To be honest, Lu Ming was under a lot of pressure too. The main reason was that the time was too short. He only had half a year. In half a year, I must defeat the sacred constellation. If I can't defeat the sacred constellation, how can I fight against Martial Emperor De in the future? Lu Ming clenched his fists tightly, his gaze determined. Then, Lu Ming took out the path understanding ancient tree and placed it by his side. He then took out a fire-type profound meaning crystal. He planned to improve his fire concept first. Now, Lu Ming's fire concept had reached the early stage of level 1 lower tier, which was only slightly weaker than the thunder concept. However, Lu Ming had 320 fire-type esoteric crystals. He was also the fastest one to comprehend the concept of fire. Gotcha! Lu Ming squeezed hard and crushed the fire-type esoteric crystal. Wisps of intent lingered around Lu Ming. Lu Ming closed his eyes and began to comprehend the concept of fire. Originally, the intent realm of heaven and earth in this area was stronger than in the Tao Comprehension Palace. Uncle Huang, 5 million spiritual crystals of the best quality is too expensive. On the market, a 6th-level spiritual weapon is only worth a few 100,000 spiritual crystals of the best quality. Mulan said. Infinite black gold. Indeed, a 6th-level spiritual weapon was many times more expensive than a 5th-level spiritual weapon used by a king. However, it was a bit terrifying to say that it would cost 5 million supreme spiritual crystals to make one. It was simply an exorbitant price. Clang, clang, clang. At this moment, a clattering sound came from a pile of scrap metal. From the pile of scrap metal, an old man with messy hair crawled out. The old man's hair and beard were in a mess. It was unknown how long it had been since he last washed them, and they were covered in dirt. Lu Ming was stunned. The old man had been sleeping in the pile of scrap metal. Was this the level 6 master of inscription? Little girl, don't compare those scrap metals with the spiritual weapons that I've personally forged. Moreover, the 6th-level spiritual weapons that you said were worth hundreds of thousands of supreme spiritual crystals are all of the lower or middle grade. What's the use of them? The ones that I've forged are definitely at the peak of the 6th-level spiritual weapons, do you understand? As soon as the old man appeared, he ran to Mulan and shouted. Uncle Huang, 5 million supreme spiritual crystals is too expensive. Mulan said. Not to mention them, even ordinary peak-tier kings might not be able to take out 5 million supreme-tier spirit crystals. Even powerful beings of the spiritual ocean tier would feel pain. If you don't have spiritual crystals, then forget it. I don't make a losing deal. The old man waved his hand. As long as the quality of the spirit weapon is acceptable, spirit crystals aren't a problem. At this moment, Lu Ming spoke. Ah! Mulan looked at Lu Ming in astonishment. Could it be that Lu Ming could even take out 5 million best-grade spirit crystals? The old man also looked at Lu Ming in surprise. It'll be easy if you have spirit crystals. Tell me, what do you want from the spirit weapon spear? The old man asked. Every martial artist had different requirements for their spirit weapon according to the martial skill they cultivated. Some people liked nimble things, while others liked heavy things. Hardness. First of all, whether it's the spear body or the spear tip, it must be absolutely tough and able to withstand an intense explosion. Also, while the spear shaft is hard, it must also be flexible and flexible. The heavier it is, the better. Lu Ming pondered for a moment and replied. Little fellow, you have quite a lot of requests. The old man grinned, then fell into deep thought. After a long while the old man said, there aren't many people who use spears. I don't have many materials suitable for making spears either. I do have a piece of indestructible steel that is suitable for making the spear tip. But the spear body? I do have some common materials, but I don't have anything that can meet your requirements. The old man frowned and muttered. Little guy, think about it. Since you use a spear, you should have collected some materials. Think about it. Do you have any materials suitable for making a spear? If you have them, I'll take fewer spirit crystals. The old man said. Me. Lu Ming was also racking his brains, but he did not have any suitable candidates. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He moved his hand and a broken spear appeared. This broken spear was only half of its original size. The other half of the spear's tail was missing. It was the broken spear that had spurted out of the Heaven's Gate. This broken spear did not have any spirituality at all. However, its material was indeed very hard. Lu Ming did not know what material it was made of. Perhaps it could be of use. Senior, take a look at this broken spear. Buzz! Before Lu Ming could finish his sentence, a figure flashed. The broken spear in his hand had disappeared and appeared in the hands of the old man. Lu Ming was secretly shocked. This elder's cultivation was unfathomable. He did not even see how the elder had attacked. The old man's eyes were now fixed on the broken spear. His originally cloudy eyes were now as bright as two light bulbs, extremely hot. The old man's hands gently caressed the spear handle. As his palms streaked across, strange runes appeared on the spear handle. This is a refining technique from the ancient times. There are inscriptions from the ancient times in it. It's a priceless treasure, a priceless treasure. Ha ha ha. The old man suddenly laughed wildly. Lu Ming and Mulan looked at each other. It was just a broken spear. What value did it have? Why did the old man say it was a priceless treasure? Little guy, where did you get this broken spear? The old man asked. I obtained it by chance in an ancient battlefield. Lu Ming told a lie. This broken spear has a long history. Although it has lost its spirituality and only half of it is left, it is a priceless treasure in my hands. The old man laughed. The old man explained when he saw Lu Ming and Mulan's puzzled expressions. The inscriptions on this spear are long-lost ancient inscriptions. They will be of great use to me. After I study them, I might be able to improve my weapon refining skills. Just this point alone makes it a priceless treasure. Little guy, give this spear to this old man. This old man will use all my strength to help you refine a spear for free. How about it? The old man looked at Lu Ming. All right. Lu Ming agreed readily. Anyway, the long spear was of no use to him. If he gave it to the elder, he could save 5 million best-grade spirit crystals. Lu Ming was more than willing to give it away. Ha ha ha. Seeing that Lu Ming had agreed, the old man was very happy. He smiled and said, Little guy, I won't let you suffer any losses. This half of the long spear contains a rare and strange metal called the infinite black gold. If you use this metal to forge a spirit weapon, it will give it endless potential. In the future, as long as you continue to condense and melt other metals into it, this spirit weapon will be able to continuously evolve and upgrade. What? It can continuously evolve and upgrade? Lu Ming and Mulan were dumbfounded and shocked. To think that there was such a magical metal. Lu Ming's eyes were shining and burning. That's right. In ancient times there was a lot of infinite black gold, but now, the amount is getting smaller and smaller. It's a great fortune for you to be able to obtain some. After this old man studies the inscriptions on it, I'll melt this infinite black gold into your spirit weapon spear. The old man said. Many thanks, senior. Lu Ming bowed and cupped his fists. Ha ha ha, no need for thanks. I should be the one thanking you. However, with such good materials, the other materials can't be bad, or it would be a waste. Now, the key is the material for the spear body. The old man frowned. After a while, the old man's eyes brightened. I've got it. 1,000 refined blood gold is the most suitable for the spear handle. 1,000 refined blood gold. Lu Ming was puzzled. That's right. The 1,000 refined blood gold is made from an extremely precious metal that has been refined thousands of times. Each time, it needs to be mixed with the blood essence of a demon beast. Only after 1,000 times can it be forged. However, I don't have the 1,000 refined blood gold with me, so I'll need you to make a trip here. The old man said. I wonder where I can obtain this 1,000 refined blood gold. Lu Ming asked. He had to maintain multiple intents at the same time in order to raise his cultivation. This speed was too slow.
In history, there were people who cultivated many intents at the same time, but in the end, because they had to comprehend every intent, their cultivation speed was extremely slow.
In the end, their lifespans ran out, and they died. Some people were also peerless geniuses. If they cultivated only one intent realm, their achievements would be limitless. Furthermore, the power that each spirit weapon unleashed was extremely powerful. The martial artists that Lu Ming had seen in the past would usually use a spirit weapon in order to unleash the strongest power of some martial arts techniques. For example, Lu Ming could unleash the strongest power of the spear technique when he used a long spear. On the other hand, he could unleash the strongest power of the sword technique when he used a combat sword. This was the first time Lu Ming had seen someone controlling several spirit weapons to attack at the same time.
However, even though the 6 of them had profound methods of controlling spirit weapons, the disparity in strength was too great, and they were not their match at all.
Not long after, the 2 Level 3 Martial King realm middle-aged men were injured and spat out large mouthfuls of blood. "Big brother, take the young lady and break out of the encirclement. We'll block them from here." One of the burly men shouted at the peak Level 4 Martial King realm. "That's right, nothing must happen to the young lady." The other man also shouted. "No, we'll leave together." The young woman shouted. "Kaka, you want to leave? Today, none of you will be leaving." The old corpse guard sneered. "Big brother, hurry up. Take the young lady and rush out to get help." One of the burly men continued to roar. "All right." The Level 4 Martial King realm burly man gritted his teeth and rushed madly in one direction, shouting, "Miss, follow me and rush out." "You want to rush out? In your dreams. Deal with that guy with all your strength." The old corpse guard sneered and controlled the refined corpse to pounce at the big man fearlessly. At the same time, the other Level 4 Martial King realm corpse guard also controlled the refined corpse to pounce on the burly man. The burly man controlled 4 blades at the same time and slashed wildly, but it was useless. They were blocked. "Damn it!" he roared in despair. "Kaka, don't even think about running away. Little beauty, be good and serve this old man. If you serve this old man well, this old man might show mercy and not refine you into a refined corpse." The old corpse guard sneered. "Old man, go to hell." The young woman was in despair. She gritted her teeth and attacked the old corpse guard, but she was easily blocked by a Level 3 Martial King refined corpse. The Heavenly Corpse sex corpse guards didn't seem to be in a hurry to kill them, and were toying with the young woman and the others like a cat playing with a mouse. "Oh, I see." Lu Ming looked to the east and west, a cold smile on his face. He discovered that there were auras hidden in the east and west. Although the auras were restrained to a very weak extent, Lu Ming could still sense them. And that aura was the aura of the Sky Corpse sex corpse guards. They are trying to attract the young woman's reinforcements and then capture them all in one fell swoop. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. However, the highest level among them is only at Level 5 Martial King realm. A cold smile appeared on Lu Ming's face. He stopped hiding and strode out. "Who is it?" As soon as Lu Ming walked out, the Heavenly Corpse sex corpse guard noticed him and shouted, "Of course it's the people who are here to kill you." Lu Ming sneered. "Kaka, little brat, just you alone? You're looking for death." The old corpse guard laughed strangely. At this time, the young woman and the rest looked at Lu Ming. When they saw that Lu Ming was alone and that he was so young, they were immediately disappointed. "Young hero, leave quickly, don't worry about us." The young woman cried out. Lu Ming was alone. If he did not leave now, he would also be killed. "Beauty, it's fine. I'll leave after I kill these monsters of the Heavenly Corpse sect." Lu Ming flashed a bright smile at the young woman. The young woman and the others were a little stunned.
You also know that the Heavenly Corps sex members have been appearing more and more frequently around the weapon-forging sect recently. Xian Zhong cast an unfriendly glance at Lu Ming and said coldly, "You're talking nonsense. Lord Lu Ming is so powerful, so he must be a genius among the Ditian divine guards. Moreover, he killed so many corpse guards in a few moves. If he's from the Heavenly Corpse sect, why would he kill so many corpse guards? Moreover, those disgusting guys from the Heavenly Corpse sect are all so ugly. How can they be as good-looking as Lord Lu Ming?" Xian Xiang retorted loudly. At the side, Lu Ming smiled bitterly. Profound Fragrance was really innocent and simple-minded. It was obvious that Xian Zhong was interested in Xian Xiang. However, Xian Xiang still praised Lu Ming. This made Xian Zhong even more unhappy. As expected, Xian Zhong's face turned even gloomier. A trace of killing intent flashed across his eyes as he looked at Lu Ming and said, "Lu Ming, right? Now that I've arrived, we'll be returning to the weapon-forging sect. Please leave." In other words, he wanted Lu Ming to leave. "Hey Xian Zhong, how can you be like this? Lord Lu Ming saved my life before. Moreover, he has something to do at the weapon-forging sect to see my father. He'll be coming back with us." Xian Xiang's small face immediately sank, and she said somewhat unhappily, "He's also going to the weapon-forging sect? No, what if this person has any evil intentions?" Xian Zhong said with a gloomy expression, "This is my divine guard token, do you want to take a look?" Before Xian Zhong could finish his sentence, Lu Ming interrupted him and took out the divine guard token. Lu Ming had gone to the weapon-forging sect to ask for the 1,000 refined blood gold. He could not be bothered to waste his breath on Xian Zhong. Seeing Lu Ming take out the divine guard token, Xian Zhong's face turned even gloomier. The weapon-forging sect was a subsidiary sect of the Emperor Sky Divine Palace. Since Lu Ming was really an Emperor Sky Divine Guard, Xian Zhong had no reason not to let Lu Ming join the weapon-forging sect. "Humph, I told you that Lord Lu Ming is a genius among the Ditian Divine Guards, but someone didn't believe me. Humph." Xian Xiang coldly snorted. This made Xian Zhong's face even uglier. "Go. Let's go back to the weapon-forging sect." Xian Zhong waved his hand and left with his men. The group continued to head north. On the way, Xian Xiang followed Lu Ming and chatted with him. From Xian Xiang, Lu Ming learned that Xian Zhong was the only son of the weapon-forging sect's great elder. He was also the #1 genius among the younger generation of the weapon-forging sect. At the age of 28, he had already reached the lower tier of the Lever 4 Martial King realm. Lu Ming nodded. Even in the Emperor Sky Divine Palace, where geniuses were as common as clouds, such talent would be considered superior. Lu Ming could also tell that Xian Xiang had some feelings for Xian Zhong. Of course, Lu Ming did not think that Xian Xiang liked him. Xian Xiang was just a simple-minded girl who idolized the strong. It was her first time seeing a genius like Lu Ming. Naturally, she idolized him and was very curious. However, this was not love. At the front, Xian Zhong's face turned even gloomier when he saw Xian Xiang and Lu Ming chatting so happily. Killing intent kept flashing in his eyes. They chatted as they traveled. Not long after, they had flown 10,000 miles. In front of him, a huge and majestic mountain appeared. This was the weapon-forging sect. Following Profound Fragrance, they entered the weapon-forging sect and arrived at the peak of the mountain. "Miss Xian Xiang, young Master Xian Zhong, you're back." The sect master and the elders just happened to be discussing matters in the meeting hall. "I'll go and inform them." A white-haired old man appeared in front of them and said, All right. Grandpa Zhong, please tell my father that this Ditian Divine Guard, Lu Ming, of the Ditian Divine Palace, has something to see him about." Xian Xiang nodded. "Oh, okay." The white-haired old man nodded and went to the meeting hall. He had finally obtained the 1,000 refined blood gold. Lu Ming could not wait to rush back to Tianxian City so that he could go into seclusion to comprehend the concept of wind. Once his wind mentality reached level 1 small success, it would be on par with a thunder and fire mentality. Then, his cultivation would be able to continue improving. In the blink of an eye, tens of thousands of miles had been covered. At this time, the sky had completely darkened. Whoosh! All of a sudden, a pale white saber gleam in front of him slashed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. His body flashed and he dodged the saber gleam. In front of them, two figures appeared, walking in the air and walking towards them. Xian Zhong. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. One of them was Xian Zhong, while the other was a brawny man in his 30s. Hee, Lu Ming. Let's see where you can run to now. Go to hell. The 1,000 refined blood gold is mine. Xian Zhong sneered. Xian Zhong, you really don't want to give up. I originally wanted to spare your life for Xian Xiang's sake, but you just had to come to die. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. You're talking big. My father sent a senior brother here, so you're dead. Also, don't mention that bitch Xian Xiang in front of me. That bitch is just a bitch. And that old man Xian Long, in 2 days, I want them all dead. Xian Zhong's face was extremely ferocious. What do you want to do to sect Master Xian and the others? Lu Ming's face changed as he chided. Hee, what are you doing? When you're all in hell, you can discuss it together. Senior brother, kill him. Xian Zhong roared. Bang! Bang! The brawny man was walking in the void, exuding an extremely powerful aura. Every step he took in the void made a banging sound. Peak Level 6 Martial King Realm. Lu Ming's expression changed. Haha, Lu Ming, my senior brother has reached the peak of the 6th level Martial King Realm. He's only 1 step away from breaking through to the King Tier upper tier. Accept your death. Xian Zhong laughed excitedly. Die! The brawny man shouted as his muscles bulged and he slashed out. The saber ray was mighty, and the air in the sky was split in half, bringing with it a gust of wind. In an instant, the terrifying saber light was about to hit Lu Ming's head. At this moment, a long spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand and he held it horizontally above his head. Clang! The saber radiance struck the spear shaft, and energy shot out in all directions. However, Lu Ming's body was like an archaic divine mountain. He did not move an inch. You! Xian Zhong's and the brawny man's faces changed dramatically. Peak Level 6 Martial King Realm? Hee. Lu Ming sneered and stepped forward with his long spear in hand. Mountain-splitting slash. The brawny man roared and slashed again with all his strength. This slash was twice as powerful as the previous one. This was the brawny man's most powerful attack. But the next moment, he was in despair. Lu Ming swept his long spear and the saber gleam collapsed, turning into nothingness. Not good, junior brother, run. The brawny man's expression turned extremely ugly as he roared. Whoosh! Lu Ming became one with the spear and cast a Gakudo path attack. The spear's gleam flashed and blood shot out. The brawny man's glabella was pierced through. Then, the devouring power burst out and devoured the brawny man's blood essence. No, how could this be? Xian Zhong was so frightened that he almost cried. He ran madly towards the weapon-forging sect. Lu Ming was simply a monster. Even a peak Level 6 Martial King Realm expert was easily killed by him. He was not human at all. The start of the war. However, Xian Long moved and stood in front of Xian Yuan. I believe that little brother Lu would not attack Xian Zhong for no reason. Why don't we hear what exactly happened? Let's make things clear first. Xian Long said. Sect Master. Xian Yuan was a little anxious. All right, there's no need to say more. Xian Long waved his hand and said. The gloominess in Xian Yuan's eyes intensified. He knew that he could not kill Lu Ming with Xian Long's help. Secretly, he gave a look to one of the elders. The elder nodded slightly and slowly retreated, disappearing into the darkness without anyone noticing. Little brother Lu, what's going on? Xianlong looked at Lu Ming and asked. Yes, Lord Lu Ming, what's going on? Then, how is Xianzhong? Xianxiang also asked, looking at the Xianzhong in Lu Ming's hands. Sect Master Xian, when I left the weapon forging sect, I met this Xianzhong with one of his senior brothers. They tried to kill me on the way. Lu Ming said. What? Xianzhong, how dare you? Xianlong roared when he heard that. Xianzhong, you actually did such a thing. Xianxiang also looked at Xianzhong with a face full of disappointment. Xianzhong lowered his head. His eyes were full of dejection, and he didn't say anything. Nonsense. Little bastard, it's clearly you who wanted to kill Zhong. Xian Yuan shouted again. Shut up, old man. If you don't have a fucking brain, do the others have one too? I just barged in from the outside and a group of people saw it. According to what you said, I barged in first and took Xianzhong away. Then, I barged in from the outside with Xianzhong and let you block my way? Lu Ming berated loudly. You! Xian Yuan's face turned red. He had just wanted to pin a crime on Lu Ming at the last minute. He did not expect that there would be so many flaws. How could he continue at this moment? Xian Yuan, were you the one who ordered this? Xianlong looked at Xian Yuan with an ugly expression. Wait a minute. Grandmaster Xian. Trying to kill me on the way is a small matter. Just now, I learned something from Xianzhong, which is a big matter. Lu Ming said loudly. Xian Yuan's expression changed drastically as soon as he heard this. He slowly retreated. Oh, big event? What's the big deal? Xianlong asked. Great Elder Xian Yuan has already colluded with the Heavenly Corpse sect. In 2 days, they'll work with the Heavenly Corpse sect and break through the weapon forging sect. Lu Ming said loudly. His words were like a thunderclap that exploded in the minds of everyone from the weapon forging sect. What? What did you just say? Xianlong was in disbelief. The others also looked at Lu Ming in disbelief. This was too shocking. Sect Master Xian, this is what Xianzhong said himself. Lu Ming said. Nonsense. You're slandering him. Sect Master, Lu Ming is trying to sow discord between us. I suggest that we kill him immediately. Xian Yuan roared. Xian Yuan, you still dare to quibble until now. However, you are really ruthless. Just now, you even wanted to kill Xianzhong to silence me. He is your biological son. Lu Ming sneered. After that, he said to Xianzhong, Xianzhong, are you still going to help your father hide the truth? He's such an unscrupulous father. When the Heavenly Corpse sect raised the weapon forging sect to the ground, everyone you know will die. What's the point of your life then? Also, there's nothing going on between me and Xianxiang. On the contrary, she told me that she likes you, but you always misunderstand her. Lu Ming's words made Xianzhong's body tremble slightly. He raised his head and looked at Xianxiang. Xianzhong, what happened? Tell me. Xianxiang shouted. Xianzhong's eyes flickered. Then he looked decisive and said to Xian Yuan, Father, let's stop. We've made great contributions to the weapon forging sect for generations. I believe that the sect master and the elders will forgive us. Let's stop. His words were like a sudden clap of thunder. Everyone's eyes turned to Xian Yuan. Xian Yuan, how dare you? Xianlong roared, his hair and beard all standing up. Evil creature. You're really useless. You can't achieve great things when you're trapped by love. If I had known this earlier, I would have killed you. Xian Yuan looked at Xianzhong coldly. Chapter 557 Chaotic Battle. Leave? I still want her blood as a guide. How can we let her go? Capture that girl for me. Be careful, don't kill her. The old corpse guard waved his hand, and a few corpse guards instantly controlled the refined corpses to charge at Xuanxiang. Kill! Xianxiang shouted in anger and controlled a few spirit weapons to charge at the corpse guards. At this moment, Lu Ming threw Xianzhong onto the square of the weapon forging sect. He dashed towards a few corpse guards and refined corpses and swept his long spear across, causing a few corpse guards to explode. "Kill that brat!" The old corpse guard shouted coldly, and more corpse guards charged at Lu Ming. There were at least 10 corpse guards with more than 20 refined corpses. The iron chains covered the sky and wrapped around Lu Ming and Xian Xiang. "Let's go!" Lu Ming pulled Xian Xiang and retreated rapidly, avoiding the entanglement of the iron chain. At this moment, there were battles everywhere. There were battles between weapon-forging sect disciples and the Sky Corps sect's corpse guards, as well as internal conflicts within weapon-forging sect itself. "Damn traitor!" Lu Ming saw an angry weapon-forging sect disciple chopping off Xian Zhong's head in the square below. In the end, Xian Zhong still died at the hands of a weapon-forging sect disciple. All of this was seen by Xian Xiang. She bit her red lips, her eyes red, and didn't say a word. "Catch that little girl!" In the surroundings, a group of corpse guards controlled the refined corpses and rushed toward Lu Ming and Xian Xiang. Why do they want to capture Profound Fragrance? Just now, Grandmaster Xian had called out the ancient barren city? Could it be the desolate ancient city in the east of Tianxian? Lu Ming's mind was racing. Whoosh! A battle sword pierced through the air and cut off the heads of 5 to 6 corpse guards. It was Xian Long. He controlled the combat sword to help Lu Ming and the others. "Lu Ming, take Xiangxiang and go to Tianxian City quickly. I'm counting on you," Xian Long shouted. In the weapon-forging sect, only Xian Long and Xian Yuan were king tiers at the upper tier. The other elders were all lower-tier king tiers. None of them had Lu Ming's combat strength. Xian Long could only rely on Lu Ming now. "All right." Lu Ming agreed. He pulled Xian Xiang and retreated rapidly. "Don't even think about leaving?" A cold voice suddenly came from behind. Whoosh! Whoosh! The sound of iron chains breaking through the air was heard as they wrapped around Lu Ming and Xian Xiang. "Get lost!" Lu Ming shouted, and the spear's radiance, which was 1,000 meters long, swept out. However, Lu Ming's expression changed drastically at the next moment. The spear ray was pierced by the iron chain, which continued to wrap around them. A late-stage king tier. Lu Ming was shocked. It was definitely a refined corpse at the level of a king. "With me here, you still want to leave? How is that possible?" Hee hee. Behind him, a middle-aged corpse guard controlled 2 refined corpses. They exuded a terrifying aura and closed in on Lu Ming. "Lord Lu Ming, leave quickly. Don't worry about me," Xian Xiang shouted. "Let's go together." Lu Ming pulled Xian Xiang and rushed in another direction. However, the iron chains hung in the air, sealing off all escape routes. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming exchanged a few blows with him. His body trembled and blood seeped out of his mouth. With his current battle power, he was still a distance away from a late-stage king. There was a dividing line between Level 3 and Level 4 Martial King Realm, and there was also a dividing line between Level 6 and Level 7 Martial King Realm. The 7th level of the Martial King Realm was considered as a king tier of the upper tier, and its combat strength was 2 levels higher than that of the 6th level. If Xian Long didn't dodge in time, his heart would have been pierced. "Father!" Xian Xiang was shocked and extremely worried. "Chi-chi!" At this moment, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard. The middle-aged corpse guard appeared behind Lu Ming and grabbed at him. Lu Ming hurriedly turned around and thrust his spear. This middle-aged corpse guard was also a king tier at the 7th level of the Martial King Realm. Although the corpse guard's combat strength was not strong, it was still above Lu Ming. Bang! With one move, Lu Ming's body was sent flying backward. Not good. Lu Ming could not help but let go of Xian Xiang's hand. Whoosh! Whoosh! Immediately, a few iron chains rolled up the profound incense and pulled it into the distance. Hee hee hee, I've got the girl, but I'm still short of the recondite steel heavy sword. The old corpse guard sneered. He was also a late-stage king, and he was controlling a refined corpse to kill an elder of the weapon-forging sect. One by one, the elders died under his refined corpse. Fragrance! Xian Long let out a roar and controlled the 3 combat swords to slash at the chain that was holding Xian Xiang. However, The refined corpse that had caught Xian Xiang was already at the level of a late-stage king. How could Xianlong save it? The iron chain flew out and knocked away the 3 combat swords. You still dare to be distracted, you're looking for death. Xian Yuan revealed a cold smile. When Xianlong was distracted, Xian Yuan seized the opportunity and attacked him fiercely. Puchi! This time, Xianlong's arm was cut off by Xian Yuan. The mysterious dragon roared like a wild lion. Haha, the storage ring is mine. Xian Yuan was overjoyed, and Xianlong threw the arm to the old corpse guard. Father, father! In the distance, Xian Xiang anxiously shouted. Bang! Lu Ming's spear sent a few refined corpses of lower-tier king level flying, and he charged towards Xianlong. Brat, if you want to save people, die! The middle-aged corpse guard controlled a refined corpse to block Lu Ming's way. Damn you, Dandan, smash! Lu Ming patted Dandan. Buzz! Dandan flew out, rapidly growing in size, and smashed towards the middle-aged corpse guard's face. Bang! The middle-aged corpse guard couldn't avoid it at all and was directly smashed in the face. Ah! He screamed in pain. His face was almost smashed. He retreated frantically and controlled the refined corpse to block in front of him. Such a meticulous mind. Lu Ming felt that it was a pity. Originally, he wanted to use Dandan's sneak attack to kill a king-level corpse guard, but this corpse guard immediately controlled the refined corpse to block in front of him, so he didn't have a chance. Lu Ming dashed past and charged at Xianlong. At this moment, Xuanxiang was surrounded by a pile of refined corpses. She wanted to save him, but she had no chance. At this moment, Xianlong was in a critical situation. One of his arms had been cut off. He was no match for Xian Yuan and was at a disadvantage. Boom! Lu Ming's momentum was like a rainbow. He was practically invincible under the level of a king tier. No corpse guard or refined corpse could stop him. This kid is looking for death. The old corpse guard's eyes were cold. He controlled a refined corpse at the level of a king and charged at Lu Ming. At the same time, he rushed toward Xianlong. Not good. A Gakudo path attack. Lu Ming became one with his spear and turned into a ray of spear light. The refined corpse and corpse guards in front of him were all sent flying. Lu Ming's figure flashed and appeared not far from the Xianlong. But at this time, the old corpse guard and Xian Yuan had already surrounded and attacked Xianlong. Xianlong was already no match for him. Now that he was besieged, he was hit again and was covered in blood. Dandan smash! Destruction, promise. Bang! The first one that was hit was Xian Yuan. Arg! Xian Yuan screamed. Even a late-stage king was smashed by Dandan. His face was smashed into pieces. How could Xianlong let go of this opportunity? Die, traitor! Xianlong controlled the 3 combat swords and slashed at Xian Yuan. Clang! Clang! In a panic, Xian Yuan only managed to block 2 swords, but he failed to block the third. The third combat sword slashed over and cut off Xian Yuan's head. A late-stage king was killed just like that. But at the same time, the old corpse guard's claw pierced through Xianlong's chest and crushed his heart. Damn it, Dandan smash! Lu Ming bellowed and smashed the old corpse guard's face. The old corpse guard screamed and quickly retreated, but he was still smashed by Dandan, and his face was beyond recognition. Buzz! Lu Ming rushed over, grabbed Xianlong, and broke through rapidly. At the same time, he used his true energy to sweep Xian Yuan's body into the supreme shrine. Bang! Bang! Lu Ming swept his long spear and the refined corpses were swept away one by one. He then charged out at high speed. Damn it! Stop him! Stop him! I want him dead! The old corpse guard screamed and controlled the refined corpse to surround them. This time, the heavenly corpse sect had moved ahead of schedule and only sent 2 king tiers of the upper tier. There were no king tiers of the upper tier in the direction that Lu Ming was breaking out of. There were no king tiers at the level of the upper tier. Those below the level of a king tier could not withstand Lu Ming's attack. The refined corpses were sent flying like sandbags. Gakudo path attack. In the end, Lu Ming cast a Gakudo path attack and rushed out 5 miles away. Then he took a deep breath, circulated his true essence, and took a step forward, appearing 10 miles away. Chase, chase! The old corpse guard roared and controlled the king-level refined corpse to chase after him. However, Lu Ming's 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps continued and he was far away in an instant. A few minutes later, Lu Ming had already covered a distance of nearly 10,000 miles. Xianlong kept coughing out blood and his face was as pale as paper. Lu Ming chose a hidden place and landed. He placed Xianlong on the ground. "Little brother Lu, I'm begging you. You must save Xiangxiang." The profound dragon transformation coughed up blood as he spoke. His heart had been crushed, and he had only managed to hold on because of his powerful body and profound cultivation. If it had been an ordinary person, he would have died from such injuries. "Grandmaster Xian, I'll help you heal." Lu Ming placed his palm on Xianlong's back. A vast amount of vital essence gushed into Xianlong's body. Lu Ming's vital essence was the War Dragon vital essence. It was very effective. Xianlong's face regained some color. "Little brother, don't waste your Zhan Yuan. Your heart has exploded, there's nothing you can do." "Little brother, I have a few things to tell you." Xianlong panted. "Please speak, Sect Master Xian." Lu Ming said. "If I'm not wrong, the Heavenly Corpse sect seized the Xian family's black iron heavy sword and then kidnapped Xiangxiang. They must have gone to the eastern barren city, opened the barren ancient tomb in the city, and taken out the corpse in the tomb to refine it into a peerless refined corpse. They must have gone to the east. Little brother, I beg you, please help me save Xiangxiang." After saying that, Xianlong actually struggled and wanted to kneel down to Lu Ming. "Grandmaster Xian, what are you doing? I promise you, I will definitely save Xiangxiang." Lu Ming said firmly. "Good, that's good. Little brother, this storage ring was left to me by Xiangxiang's mother. Can you pass it to him on my behalf?" Xianlong took off his storage ring and passed it to Lu Ming. "Don't worry, Sect Master Xian. Lu Ming will do what he says." Lu Ming took the storage ring and kept it. "Grandmaster Xian, what is your relationship with the ancient barren city?" Lu Ming was a little curious. Lu Ming remembered that the peerless genius of the ancient barren city, Xian Feng, had the same surname as Xianlong and the rest. The Xian family of the weapon-forging sect used to be part of the Xian family of the ancient desolate city. They also have 2 recondite steel heavy swords. According to the legends of the Xian family, if the 2 recondite steel heavy swords were to be used together to open the tomb of the ancients, it would be a great disaster for the Xian family. So, 10,000 years ago, our branch left the desolate ancient city with the recondite steel heavy sword and came here to prevent the 2 recondite steel heavy swords from meeting. Unfortunately, the Heavenly Corpse sect still found out about it. They will definitely bring Xiangxiang to the desolate ancient city and seize the other recondite steel heavy sword. Once the desolate ancient tomb is opened, the Xian family will be finished. Xianlong explained. At this point, Xianlong's life force was getting weaker and weaker. There was no turning back. "Little brother, Xiangxiang, I'll leave it to you." In the end, Xianlong said his last words, and his vitality dissipated. He died. AI. Lu Ming sighed. He dug a hole at the side and buried Xianlong. However, there was no tombstone. If the Heavenly Corpse sect found the tombstone, they would probably refine the corpse into a refined corpse. "Don't worry, Grandmaster Xian. Since I've made a promise, I'll do my best to fulfill it." Lu Ming cupped his fists and rose into the air. He retracted his aura and returned to the weapon-forging sect. "Quick, take everything you can. Hurry up." As Lu Ming approached the weapon-forging sect, he heard shouts. Lu Ming flew high up in the sky and looked down, but he didn't see any trace of Xianxiang. Not only that, but he also didn't see the 2 corpse guards of the king level. Where did they take the profound fragrance? Lu Ming was deep in thought. After a while, some corpse guards flew towards the north. Lu Ming followed from a distance. They flew at least hundreds of thousands of miles north. In front of them was a huge mountain filled with smoke. Those corpse guards all flew into that huge mountain. Lu Ming stopped a few hundred miles away. He didn't dare to go any further. He guessed that it was one of the Heavenly Corpse sect's old nests in the Tianxian region. There were definitely many experts inside. It would be dangerous if he got too close and was discovered. Lu Ming found a hidden place and hid himself well. Could profound fragrance have been brought here? Or have they already set off for the east? Lu Ming furrowed his brows in deep thought. I don't care. I will wait here for 2 days. If I still don't see the profound fragrance, I will rush to the east. Dandan, you stay here and keep watch. If there's anything, inform me. I'll cultivate first. Lu Ming placed Dandan on the ground and entered the Supreme Shrine. Xian Yuan's body was on a platform in the Supreme Shrine. Lu Ming did not want to waste the blood essence of a phenomenal success king. The 9-dragon bloodline appeared and devoured Xian Yuan's blood essence. Lu Ming took off Xian Yuan's storage ring. Then, he waved his hand and a wisp of flame appeared, burning Xian Yuan's body to ashes. Lu Ming sat cross-legged and began to refine the blood essence of the Xian Yuan. The blood essence of a late-stage king was simply too dense. Lu Ming used all of it to improve his 9-dragon bloodline. 2 hours later, the 6 Asilavirar chakras of the 9-dragon bloodline became extremely brilliant. Right then, with a sound of hum, a new chakra appeared. But along the way, the people of the Heavenly Corpse sect were extremely cautious. Even when they were resting, there would be a corpse guard at the late-stage king level guarding by Xian Xiang's side. Lu Ming could not do it at all. Just like that, more than 10 days passed, and they were getting closer and closer to the east. The ancient desolate city had always been extremely mysterious in the eastern part of the Tianxian region. They charged towards Thunder Palace Master and the others. These 2 refined corpses were completely different from the other refined corpses. Thunder Palace Master and the others didn't dare to be careless. They fought with these refined corpses, but for a while, it was only a draw. Ah! Ah! From time to time, screams could be heard from all over the ancient desolate city. Someone was being killed. Lu Ming was hiding on a mountain peak outside the ancient barren city. The city lord's aura was much stronger than before. A secret technique that burns essence, qi, and spirit. Do you want to die? The old corpse god roared. The burning of essence, qi, and spirit of the city lord of Desolation City was a secret skill of the Xian family. His combat power would increase dramatically, but he would definitely not be able to last for 10 minutes before he died. Follow father. Father will take you out. The big tree exploded, and broken wood pieces flew everywhere. This big bird is so powerful. Lu Ming could sense that the bird's level was only equivalent to a peak level 6 martial king, but its explosive power was not any weaker than his. Could this be a mutant with the bloodline of an ancient divine beast or ferocious beast? Lu Ming's expression changed. Many demonic beasts had the bloodlines of ancient divine beasts and ferocious beasts. I was the one who leaked your information to the Heavenly Corpse sect. Look at me, I've found dozens of people to be buried with you. Unfortunately, you don't appreciate it. However, it's the same as sending you down now. The Thunder Palace Master sneered. Old man, I will kill you. Lu Ming's killing intent soared. In order to kill him, this old fellow was actually willing to sacrifice so many Detian divine guards' lives. He was simply insane.
Kill me. In your dreams. Dang.
The Thunder Palace Master shouted, and his Lever 9 Martial King Realm aura burst out. With a wave of his hand, a sword of thunder formed in his hand.
Dandan smash.
Lu Ming patted Dandan.
Buzz.
Dandan flew out and smashed towards Thunder Palace Master. Thunder Palace Master's eyes widened, and a bolt of lightning as thick as an arm shot toward Dandan.
However, it was of no use.
It rushed past and continued to smash towards Thunder Palace Master's face. Thunder Palace Master's expression changed slightly. He retreated and slapped out. This palm was too fast, and Dandan couldn't avoid it. She was hit and flew far away. What's the use of unorthodox methods?
Dang.
Thunder Palace Master shouted coldly. Lu Ming sighed. The cultivation level of the Palace Master of the Thunder Palace was too high. Even a surprise attack was useless. Without any hesitation, he turned around and used the 9 Dragons' heaven-treading steps to run away. Right now, he was still not a match for the Thunder Palace Master, so he could only retreat first.
If you want to leave, then stay.
The Thunder Palace Master bellowed in anger. He moved and shot towards Lu Ming like a bolt of lightning. His speed was so fast that he was not slower than Lu Ming. A lightning sword slashed at Lu Ming.
True Dragon Strike.
Lu Ming thrust his spear and a 3-colored true dragon flew out, pouncing at the lightning sword. The sword of lightning pierced through the 3-colored war dragon, crushing it in an instant. The sword of lightning did not stop and continued to shoot toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming's expression was grave as he blocked the attack with his long spear.
Clang.
With a loud boom, Lu Ming's body was sent flying like a cannonball. He crashed heavily into the ground, creating a deep pit. Lu Ming coughed out large mouthfuls of blood.
His body was injured.
If it were not for the fact that Lu Ming had already comprehended the thunder mentality and cultivated it to the late stage of level 1 lower tier, which offset a part of the power of lightning, this move alone would have severely injured Lu Ming.
Lever 9 Martial King Realm. You're indeed powerful. I can't fight you now. Let's go.
Without any hesitation, Lu Ming rushed out of the crater and ran forward with the 9 Dragons' heaven-treading steps.
I told you you can't escape.
Thunder Palace Master's voice was cold as he chased after Lu Ming. The thunder concept that the Thunder Palace Master had comprehended was too fast. Lu Ming could not escape at all.
Boom!
Lu Ming and the Thunder Palace Master exchanged a blow. This time it was even worse. Smoke was coming out of his body and he was almost burnt to ashes. His body seemed to be splitting apart. Lu Ming rushed out of the huge pit and coughed up a large amount of blood. He looked at the Thunder Palace Master with a murderous look.
Run, why aren't you running? Let's see where you can run to. Today you will die.
The Master of Thunder Palace walked over step by step, looking extremely cold. It's still not certain who will die today. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with a hint of ruthlessness, and the power of thunder exuded from between his eyebrows. He was going to control the lightning cauldron and launch a fatal attack on the Lightning Palace Master. After using the lightning cauldron, he would definitely fall into a weakened state. This place could be said to be extremely dangerous, but at this point, he had no other choice.
Buzz!
Dandan flew back and glowed beside Lu Ming. The Master of the Thunder Palace frowned. For some reason, he felt a dangerous aura from Lu Ming. He then retracted his aura and ran toward the mountains. Fortunately, Lu Ming did not encounter any powerful demonic beasts on these mountains. If there were, they were rather weak. Could it be that all the powerful demonic beasts are in that forest?
Lu Ming relaxed slightly.
He then flew high into the sky and sped up.
Wait, what's that?
Suddenly, Lu Ming stopped and flew back, landing on a small mountain peak.
This is
Power Upanishad Crystal Vein? Lu Ming sensed it carefully and realized that the mountain peak was exuding a strong aura. Moreover, it was the aura of wind concept. This was actually a wind-type intent crystal mine. Lu Ming was overjoyed. There would be at least several hundred pieces of intent crystals in the intent crystal vein, and there might even be mid-grade intent crystals. Most importantly, They were wind-type esoteric crystals. With these crystals, Lu Ming's concept of wind would improve rapidly. Digging. Lu Ming started to dig crazily. 3 hours later, the entire small mountain peak had been excavated by Lu Ming. The harvest was rich. There were a total of 330 low-grade wind attribute intent crystals. Most importantly, there were 2 mid-grade wind attribute intent crystals. A total of 2 middle-grade wind attribute intent crystals. Haha, I'm rich. Lu Ming wanted to burst out laughing. This place is full of treasures. Keep searching. See if there are any other Power Upanishad crystal veins. Lu Ming started to search around frantically. Indeed, there were no more powerful demonic beasts on this piece of land. Lu Ming increased his speed. Soon, he discovered a small profound meaning crystal mine tens of thousands of miles away. Haha, it's another intent crystal vein. Previously, in that forest, it was a pit of intent crystals. Now, it's an intent crystal vein. We're rich, we're rich. Lu Ming was in an extremely good mood. He was initially a little depressed because he had entered this inexplicable place. However, all his depression was swept away at this moment. This esoteric crystal vein was a gold attribute esoteric crystal vein. In the end, Lu Ming had excavated more than 400 gold attribute esoteric crystals and 2 mid-grade gold attribute esoteric crystals. Continue. Lu Ming could not stop at all. Half an hour later, Lu Ming stopped on a mountain peak and frowned slightly. The mountain below had been completely excavated. From the faint intent realm aura that permeated the air, it must be a small Power Upanishad crystal mine. But it was discovered by others. I wonder if they're from the Heavenly Corpse sect. This time, the majority of the people who had entered were from the Heavenly Corpse sect. It seems like I have to be more careful. Lu Ming's figure moved and he left the place. An hour later, he stopped in front of a mountain peak and revealed a look of ecstasy. This mountain was suffused with the lightning intent of powerful lightning, and it was a lightning-type intent crystal mine. It just so happened that Lu Ming had a use for the thunder-type esoteric crystals. Buzz! Buzz! Lu Ming started to dig. Haha, we're so lucky. Another Power Upanishad crystal lode. We're going to be rich this time. Lu Ming had not dug twice when a cold and dry voice was heard. Who? 2 coffins flew over, and 6 figures walked out of them. 2 corpse guards and 6 refined corpses. Their bodies exuded a powerful aura. Late-stage king tears. They're all late-stage king tears. Lu Ming's expression changed. This time, the Heavenly Corpse sect had sent about a dozen king tears of the upper tier into this place. Unexpectedly, Lu Ming had encountered 2 of them. Brat, you're from the Shen family, and you're also from the Detian Divine Guard. It's your bad luck to have run into us. Hand over your storage ring obediently, and we'll leave your corpse intact. One of the corpse guards sneered. However, after reaching the Level 4 Martial King realm, the amount of spiritual crystals required to improve one's cultivation was terrifying. From the early stage of the Level 4 Martial King realm to the middle stage, it had taken 200,000 spiritual crystals, which was a terrifying amount. A small level would cost 200,000. After refining 600,000 pieces of top-grade spirit crystals, Lu Ming's cultivation had broken through to the peak of the 4th level Dao Martial King realm. Hurry up! Hurry up! We'll finish excavating this intent crystal vein and go look for the next one. Not far ahead, a shout came out. There were around 30 corpse guards controlling the refined corpses and excavating a Power Upanishad crystal vein. This time, the Heavenly Corpse sect had sent in a lot of people. There were nearly 1,000 of them, and 30 of them was only a small portion. Buzz! Lu Ming appeared in the sky above the esoteric crystal mine with a cold smile on his face. What a coincidence. The leaders of this group of corpse guards were the 2 7th-level Martial King realm corpse guards that Lu Ming had encountered earlier.
Heavens, why are you playing with me like this? Lu Ming looked at the large pile of thunder-profound crystals in the storage ring and sighed to the sky. Then, Lu Ming's consciousness appeared in his consciousness. He looked at the lightning cauldron and gritted his teeth. He wished he could just throw the lightning cauldron away. However, he was just thinking about it. Let's not talk about whether he could do it or not. Even if he couldn't bear to do it. Forget it, I'll just comprehend it honestly. Lu Ming sat cross-legged under the lightning cauldron and began to comprehend the lightning concept. Fortunately, the path understanding ancient tree was placed next to Lu Ming. Even if he was in his sea of consciousness, the effect would still be 10 times that of normal. After all, the sea of consciousness was only in the space between his eyebrows. Lu Ming calmed his heart down and started to comprehend the concept of thunder. Even without the profound meaning crystals, with the help of the thunder cauldron and the path understanding ancient tree, Lu Ming's comprehension of the thunder mentality was extremely fast. It was 100 times faster than the others. 10 days later, Lu Ming's comprehension of the thunder concept had reached the peak of level 1 lower tier. However, it was not easy to break through to level 1 upper tier. It required accumulation. Lu Ming had been in this place for more than a month. I must quickly think of a way to get out of here. There are only 3.5 months left until the day of senior sister Mu Lan's wedding with the sacred constellation, and the day of my challenge to the sacred constellation. Lu Ming frowned. However, he was still clueless about how to get out. Lu Ming decided to hunt corpse guards while he searched for a way to get out. After leaving the Supreme Shrine, Lu Ming flew in a straight line in one direction. What? At this moment, Dandan, who was hanging in her hair, flew out. Her whole body was shining and trembling slightly. Then, she flew in one direction at an extreme speed. What's going on? What did Dandan find? Lu Ming had some doubts and flew to follow Dandan. After flying for about 10,000 miles, a huge mountain shrouded in dark red mist appeared in front of them. The surroundings of this mountain peak were deathly silent. There were no plants nor any living beings. The mountain was filled with dark red mist, and it was obvious that it was an evil creature. Dandan flew to the front of the mountain, trembling slightly, as if she was very excited, and then flew into the mountain. Lu Ming followed him and flew in. Kill! Kill! As soon as Lu Ming came into contact with the dark red mist, an earth-shattering battle cry rang out in his mind. He realized that his surroundings had changed. It had become a living hell. Millions of corpses lay on the ground, and blood flowed like rivers. Countless powerful existences were fighting. Lu Ming saw a true dragon flying in the sky, but it was torn into two by a demonic shadow that was as tall as the sky. Lu Ming saw a phoenix flying across the sky, but its wings were cut off by a demonic shadow. A human expert slashed open the sky with a sword, but he was blasted apart by a fiend shadow with a punch. An unimaginable scene appeared before Lu Ming's eyes. The terrifying killing intent almost made Lu Ming's mind collapse. At this moment, Lu Ming felt a force pulling at him. The surrounding environment changed. He was still at the edge of the mountain. The bloodline of the 9 dragons surrounded his body, and the devouring power burst out to resist the dark red mist. Lu Ming heaved a long sigh of relief. This dark red mist was too strange. It was extremely dangerous just now, and Lu Ming almost had a mental breakdown. What was that scene just now? Could it be a real war that happened in history? Lu Ming was very curious. Dandan! Then, Lu Ming used the 9 dragons' bloodline to protect his body and rushed toward the mountain peak. When he reached the peak, he was dumbfounded. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.